Dale, Beto.
Greetings, this is Beto Borges with Forest Trends, and today we have Pati Ruiz Corzo, the founder and director of the Grupo Ecológico Sierra Gorda of the Querétaro region in Mexico. We're very pleased to have her today with us. And this is a continuation of our series of payments for ecosystem services and communities. And we're going to have a conversation with Laura about this very interesting subject. Dear Laura, welcome to California, here in beautiful Berkeley today. And we want to know your opinion about ecosystem services. How do you think communities should think about ecosystem services? What are ecosystem services after all?
Well, my friends, hello to everybody. In Sierra Gorda, and I mean we because we are several NGOs and the federal government behind a biosphere reserve that is private property owned, small landowners, but they own a high biodiversity region, forests and jungles of unique biological value in central Mexico. They don't really use that resource because the conditions of the roads and everything, how it is in Sierra Gorda, limestone roads are very expensive, and it didn't have been a good business for the landowners up to now. They have lost the best of their forest and they have empty pockets, extreme poverty communities. This is many years ago, and I said many years, 9 years, that we have been trying to develop ecosystem services payment for the local landowners of Sierra Gorda. And in this time we have learned good things. It has taken us time, but at the same way we have gotten an experience, and nowadays we are developing payments and new products from the wealth, the natural wealth of Sierra Gorda. All those, my friends in Sierra Gorda, the landowners, they own the forest and the jungle where the jaguar lives. Yeah? And since ever I have considered that they have to have a compensation to keep the forest in good shape, because they are really taking any profit from it. And they own what it's a legacy of the planet, the natural capital. Yeah, that is countries in the south, like Mexico, where biodiversity is in the hands of extreme poverty communities. Then they must be the operators of conservation. And what we are trying to do is to develop an economy of conservation, where the people that live in the forest may live and live well with the products that they are producing with their forest or jungle. Now, Beto, I have the social return on investment evaluated. How much money has gotten the communities in their pockets? How the quality of life have improved? How the municipalities think different of what they thought before the reserve? What is the popular perception of the conservation area? What benefits are the local communities receiving? And now we have the measure. Yeah, and I have the social return on investment, and soon I'm going to integrate the results of all this research that we have done with Instituto Tecnológico de Monterrey about carbon and soils and hydrological resources with la Universidad Autónoma de Querétaro, the local university in the city of Querétaro. And we are going to integrate these economic values to our social return on investment evaluation. And we will have not just social, and we will have environmental return on investment. And what we pretend in Sierra Gorda is to put all these together: the jaguar land, the poverty alleviation, the good management of the forest, because now the people from the mountains are ecosystem services providers. Wow!
Pati, it is really fascinating and exciting to see all the progress that you've been able to accomplish at Sierra Gorda. How do you think other communities elsewhere in Mexico and elsewhere in Latin America should go about considering whether they are in a position to benefit from their traditional role of being stewards of ecosystem services, of areas that provide ecosystem services? What would you recommend for community leaders and community folks to really evaluate this as a possible option in their mosaic of local economic development opportunities?
First, I should say that don't lose your time trying to sail through Kyoto. Yeah, as the first thing. It took me 8 years to understand it. Develop your project, your products, with a good baseline that may give confidence to the buyer. Have a good organization as a forest operator that would be there 40 years, 50 years of the deal, managing the communities and the payments, the monitoring, reporting. You need a good forest operator, one that links the outside world with the treasure, with the natural treasures you have. Measure your treasure, sit and think. What are the services that our natural resources are providing for a common good? And I mean community level, regional level, national, or even international level.
But this is all really a lot of good recommendations. But what about the market? Where should communities be looking for in terms of buyers for all these services that we know that they provide? How should they think about receiving buyers for their products, for their services?
Some services are going to be for local benefit, regional benefit, like water. First, you look for the customers in the population, in the towns. Voluntary payment for hydrological provision for the upper part of the watershed. That's the first option. In the case of Sierra Gorda, it doesn't worth to try it because I am surrounded by extreme poverty communities, and we are not going to charge the water to the local communities. That's why I don't have a chance. But in different cases, sometimes you have a factory on the way down your watershed, and it's easy to find a client. Make a trip all the way down your watershed, looking for someone to buy the hydrological provision. I have many colleagues in different biosphere reserves in Mexico that have the customer right there. They just have to measure it and do it. What else have we tried? We have in Mexico too a wonderful program from CONAFOR, National Commission of the Forest, with payment for hydrological and biodiversity and carbon services. It has been so good. We have 17,000 hectares with that payment for water provision in Sierra Gorda. And I expect to have another 15,000 hectares this year. Yeah, we are really pushing our proposals. And then we would have 30,000 hectares with payments for biodiversity and water provision. And little by little, maybe someone that wants to travel and you have got in touch and in negotiation with travel agencies and that would like to become carbon neutral as a family, as a corporation, as a foundation, as a group of people conscious of the environmental problem.
Pati, thank you so much. These are all great suggestions. Thank you so much for your time.